I'm gonna be doing a mini series, and the mini series is gonna be called "Feeling Some Type of Way" mini series. And when we're feeling some type of way, a lot of time people like to associate these feelings with negative connotation. Uh, what they're basically trying to say is like a mocking the feelings. It's like a mock to the feelings or picking at it. You shouldn't be feeling this way. That's wrong for you feeling that way. I'm doing these videos to kind of counteract that, because we're human. We're gonna have feelings. We're gonna have times where we get in our feelings, so to speak, and we need to deal with that in a healthy way. We need to deal with that in a way where, when we get that way, we know how to process it. We don't attack the wrong people when they're trying to help us come out of our feelings. We need to be able to control these emotions. We don't have no control over when we get them, but we have a responsibility to know how to respond to them when we get them. And with this mini series, next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be talking about certain feelings that's associated to that phrase when people say, "Oh, I feel some type of way," or "I'm in my feelings." So today I'm gonna be talking about jealousy, and I'm gonna be talking about envy. They go hand in hand. They're not the same. They are different. But jealousy is a byproduct of envy, and I wanna give us a little bit of balance on jealousy in particular, because jealousy is associated with insecurity more than it should be. Not saying insecurity can't bring on jealous feelings, because it can, but just because you're jealous doesn't mean you're insecure, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. But Merriam-Webster, moving right along, Merriam-Webster defines jealousy as an unhappy or angry feeling of wanting to have what someone else has, or an unhappy or angry feeling caused by the belief that someone you love likes or is liked by someone else. Now, in the Bible, it speaks on God being provoked to jealousy by his people. So that tells me that when we're jealous, it can't be something that just comes out of nowhere. When we get jealous, we have to actually be pushed to that point. We have to be provoked to that point. I'll give you an example. You're sitting down with your significant other in a restaurant, something like that, anything like that, and an ex comes in. All they do is speak. They just say, "Hey," in passing. "Hi, how you doing?" They acknowledge you, they acknowledge their ex, and they go on about their business. If you feel feelings of jealousy, and all they did was speak, and he acknowledged you or she acknowledged you or whatever, and they acknowledged that person, and then they went on about their business, that might be a little bit of an insecurity. And you need to deal with that insecurity, because that person didn't drive you to jealousy, and your significant other didn't drive you to jealousy. Now, if the person comes in and it's laughing and giggling and and they're not acknowledging your significant other just seemed to have forgotten that you're sitting there for a moment, and you have to, "Whoa, wait a minute, I'm here, wait a minute, hey, remember me?" Then, okay, your significant other is actually driving you to jealousy. You have a valid reason to be jealous, and you need to speak up. You need to set boundaries. You need to let that person know, "Wait a minute, you made me feel this way because you were doing this." If it had happened, and if it were the other shoe was on the other foot, you would have felt that way. And if you with somebody that want to play games and act like, wait a minute, what they did wasn't wrong, or they don't want to acknowledge it whatsoever. Then you probably are with the wrong person. Because anybody that love you is gonna know what hurts you too. And if it's something that's bothering you that they did, if they don't acknowledge it at all, whether they meant to or not, if they want to act like you shouldn't feel that way, you probably with the wrong person. I know a lot of people not gonna like that, but hey, it's plain and simple. Now, it say God is a jealous God. It don't say nothing about him being insecure. See, insecurity is when you're not confident about yourself, and you're not confident about what you want for yourself. God knows exactly what he wants. He wants people that love him back, righteous people that love him back, and gonna do the things he command for them to do. And he ain't commanding it because he want to command it. He commanded it because it's what's best for us. So, in terms of when we get jealous, or when we feel strongly about somebody, if they're not doing anything that's going to be in the best interest of the relationship, then we need to do something different. Ain't no sense in continuously feeling bad. When you speak on it, they need to hear you out. They need to take it into consideration. They don't need to make you feel like you're being insecure. Unless you pulling it out of nowhere. There ain't no sign, or there are no rivals, there are no other exes, and you just pulling stuff from out of the inside of you. That's insecurity. You need to deal with that. And you lucky if that person stick around while you deal with those insecurities. Moving on. Envy. A lot of people try to say envy and jealousy, they're the same thing. They're not the same thing. Envy, Merriam-Webster, says that envy is the feeling of someone or something that causes, the feeling of wanting to have what someone else had, or someone or something that causes the feeling of wanting to have what someone else has. That don't really make too much sense to me. So, biblically speaking, envy is covetous, being coveting what someone wants or what someone has. It's to have a strong desire for something that belongs to someone else. A feeling of displeasure produced by learning of the advantages of others. Hating, cop blocking. Those terms are associated with envy. Anybody that's involved with envy, anytime that there is envy, there is always going to be a form of confusion. This confusion corrupts human relationships all the time. When you envious of somebody, chances are you going to debate. It's going to be meaningless debate. It's going to be meaningless argument. You ain't going to be making no sense. It's just the pride factor. You just going to be saying things just to be saying them. It can draw out jealous feelings, but envy is a deeper, darker. There's something darker in terms of envy. Because jealousy is just a byproduct of envy. In Proverbs 23:17, it say not to envy people that's doing wrong, but to fear God enough to know that it's not the way to go about it. On social networks, Instagram, things like that, Facebook, you see somebody living that life, man. You know they might be a dope boy, or you know they might be doing some things they shouldn't be doing to obtain this luxurious lifestyle. And we sit there and we look at it and we like it so much that we want to get there too. We want to be there too. You see, he got all the girls, he got all the cars, he got all this. You know what I'm saying? All this good stuff. And going about it the wrong way to get it. And we want that, knowing that they attained it in the wrong way. That's the confusion right there. That's the trick right there. You know what I'm saying? You see all these materialistic things. You know how you got it, but you still want it. the way he got it. You don't want to work for it yourself. You don't want to work for it in the right way. Verse 18 goes on to say, when it's all said and done, God won't forget you if you avoid envying or being envious of the evil that you see or that you're drawn to. I'll get the car I want one day if I work for it the right way and be patient. I'll get the house I want. I'll get, the wife I want, or the family again, and all that. Like, all that stuff will come in time. I don't have to force my way through it. I don't have to desire it and be covetous and all that. Like, have this burning desire to just have it. That is gonna put me off. It's gonna offset my course, and I may not ever obtain it trying to be somebody else or trying to be like somebody else. That's the confusion. Always remember, envy and confusion. Where there is envy, there is always confusion. There's always some type of inverted mentality or perverted way about going about getting something that somebody else wants. It's always going to be some form of confusion. We shouldn't even desire to be around it. We shouldn't even want to be around it. And we need to be careful, because like I said, trying to be like somebody else all the time, it never fails. When you try to be something that you're not, you're going to get hemmed up. It never fails. You should be yourself. You should ride it out. Do what you're supposed to do the right way. If you see something you like, if you admire something that much, do the research. Figure out how to do it in an honest way. Because you don't know what they had to do or what they had to go through to get what they got. And you sit here wanting it, but you're not really about that life on how to actually obtain it. And you find that out the hard way a lot of times. So we at the last little bit of this video. The first installment to the mini-series, Feeling Some Type of Way mini-series, jealousy and envy. Deal with your emotions, folks. Deal with them. I would rather you not be envious at all. You really don't need to be envious at all. But if you get that way, deal with that and be strong and pray so you can get that up out of you, man, because you most likely are confused if you're envying anybody. You don't never envy somebody that's doing good. There's always some type of confusion, some type of evil attached to that. You admire somebody that's doing good. That's a difference. And there's nothing wrong with striving for what they have, because you see, you have a clear mindset on that. But when you're envying something, it's always confusion. It's always strife attached to that. Comments, questions, concerns, feedback are more than welcome. I will see you guys next time. Laborers.